Ciao FMers, it's me, FM Cheater, you can call me Matt, and welcome back to Chapter 1 of Rossoblu Rivoluzione. Yes, here we are back for the second video of the new Football Manager Fiction series. We've had a pre-season, we've played a couple of games, obviously we've had transfers, etc, etc. Here on the home screen, you can see we're sitting currently in 11th, 3 games played, 4 points. That tells you everything. C+ as a manager performance. Top goal scorer is Thiago Tomas with 1 goal. Goes to once again. And highest average rating, Takehiro Tomiyasu, which we'll talk about in a moment. So yes, 11th on the table, 3 games played, 4 points. Obviously, it's very, very early on. The concern there was the 3 games we played were against teams that arguably we could have taken, more points from. I think, realistically, we should have had maybe a couple of wins and a draw there, or a couple of wins and a loss maybe, and that would have given us 6 points, would obviously put us well and truly in the top half of the table. Pre-season though was probably an indicator of how tough it was going to be. Yes, we won our own Cash Cow Cup competition, and there were some interesting wins, a 4-0 away win to Como, Benevento in a neutral 2-1 win. And then when we played Benevento away, 0-0. There you go. But pre-season was, pretty ordinary. A loss to Padova away. I mean, why would we lose to Padova? The draw to Union Berlin is fair enough. But the draw to Carpi, away in a friendly, these were indicators. And I think it might have something to do with the formation we've been playing, which I have altered. We'll get to that in a moment. And as you can see from this, the 0-0 away draw to Benevento. Were we FM'd? Probably. 10 goals, 5 on target, 62% of the possession. That should have been a win, a 1-0 win at least, if not a 2-0 win. Then there was the 1-0 home win to Spezia. That's fine. Then, unfortunately, the 1-0 away loss to Cagliari. A bit of FMing again. 9 shots, but only 3 on target versus Cagliari's 10 shots, 4 on target. We had 57% of the possession. Did manage to pick up a couple of yellows. Giovanni Simone won in the 43rd minute. Clearly, we didn't push hard enough. What you'll notice about this is Sansone, Orsolini, Palacio, all pretty, average all round, but those guys, particularly on the wings, very average. And that's a bit of the tale of so far of this season, that forward 3 haven't really been firing for us, perhaps due to a lack of support, perhaps due to mentality. Anyway, like I said, we'll talk about that in a moment. What you really want to hear about is transfers. Roberto Soriano has left Arsenal for 12.5 million. Look, a decent player, but we have a lot of midfielders. He's 29. He wasn't going to develop much further. Was it a mistake? I don't know. If we wanted to bring people in, we had that 8 million in the transfer kitty, which isn't a huge amount. So if we wanted to bring people in, we needed to add a little bit more to the bank balance. Anyway, he went for 12.5, which gave us around 20 million ish, a bit over 20 million to spend. So goodbye, Roberto Soriano. Wish you all the best in Arsenal. In fact, how's he going at Arsenal? He's doing all right, a 7.08 average rating. In fact, the Arsenal team's doing very well. Oh, that would explain it. First in the Premier League. So he's obviously contributing. He's starting, according to this, right behind the striker, I assume is Aubameyang. Aubameyang, yes, indeed. So good, great. That's a very affordable signing for them, really. Now, there were some loanees out, which I won't really bore you with. A lot of the sort of younger players as well as some of the players who came in. Some of the youth players we brought in left on loan as well. But this was the one paid transfer out, and that was that. At the end of the day, there was interest in the other players, and we will talk about that. But this was the only one who left. Orsolini, he stayed, as you could see from the games. He stayed. I don't even remember if we got a bid for him. I don't think so. In the end, I don't think Chelsea came in for him, and at the moment, I don't think he's particularly wanted. That's fine, is it? I don't know. Maybe we should have sold him. Anyway, ins, the exciting stuff. Actually, no, one more out. Aaron Hickey has gone to Sheffield United on loan. I have loaned him out as a regular starter. He's very, very good, 18 years of age. He's obviously got some significant potential there. We wanted to get him some game time with Sheffield, so we can do that. Seems to be progressing well. Real star for us going forward. We have got some other options there as well, but look, he is going to be great. He's going to help when Binks comes back next season. Hickey, Binks maybe playing to his right, maybe someone English language in midfield as well. That'll be nice. It'll be adding something interesting to Bologna. A lot of sort of, British players in there. Yeah. Anyway, so Aaron's at Sheffield United. Hopefully he'll have a great season. How's Sheffield going? 10th in the table, that's nice. How's he been going? Not so much. He's not even on the bench. What's happening there? Not sure all about that. Keep our eyes on Aaron because we want him to develop. Maybe this might be drama. Point of drama. Might appear in a story perhaps. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. You better play him, Chris Wilder. All right, loans in. Riccardo Calafiori is on loan in as left back from Roma. Why? Why is he here? Let's compare him. So I think you'd agree that overall he is that little bit better than Hickey as a backup. He's also Italian, which is nice, and also a sweet $10 million option. I think I went in with 5 or something stupid like that. They wanted like 20. Anyway, they eventually agreed on 10. Now, whether, that'll happen, I don't know. He's certainly got bags of potential here. And look, he looks great to begin with. He's not a starter. I guess he'll be doing all the cup games, all the domestic cup games. Well, they're the only cups we're in. Anyway, Riccardo Calafiori, welcome. Now, there was another loanee signing, and many of you will know this one, Thiago Tomas. I have Thiago Tomas in the other save. I'll go across there. So don't forget, there's not just this save. There's also Roving to the Top, the Blackburn Rovers save. Thiago Tomas is an absolute legend in that save. He's been, I was going to say kicking goals, quite literally kicking goals. In fact, maybe that's a particularly Australian metaphor. Anyway, so he joins us with a $25 million optional fee. That's always one you can put in there as soon as you offer 25, they accept it, but then they throw in payments for the year. We've got to pay in total $650K for the loan. That's well and truly worth it. That one goal that he's got is our one goal. So clearly he's worth it, particularly as Santander is still injured and he's injured for a long time. Love a pressing forward, but he's got pace as well as hard work, and he can finish. The only thing about him may be his technique and his first touch, but look, he's developing quite well. And again, determination on a young human is great. Young humans determined is good. So, welcome, Thiago Tomas. Now, you'll notice from this screen, hot prospect has changed. I can't remember who it was before, but it certainly wasn't this man. Welcome, Alejandro Frantes. Alejandro Frantes came in for $875,000 from Zaragoza. Right back or centre back, 18 years of age. Look at it. For less than €1 million, no brainer. He has gone out on loan. He's out at Maritimo in Portugal as a starting right back or full back. Third in Liga NOS. A bit like Hickey. Doesn't look like he's being played very much. He did last 5 games he did well, but it doesn't look like he's being played. And of course, third in Liga NOS, the better they go without him, the less they will play him, I feel. So I think a bit like Aaron Hickey, we're going to need to keep our eye on Alejandro, make sure he is getting the game time. If not, pull him back, put him in the youth, down in the under-23s and let him play, because you'll remember our vision. Developing players through the youth system is preferred. So I know that this can be a problem because in the Blackburn Rover save, I ended up just going, loan, not thinking that this was part of the deal. And I vaguely remember the status was devastated for youth players. So if they don't play him, we'll bring him and Hickey back. They can play down with the under 20s and develop that way. We've got a good coaching team, and it'll tick the box for developing players. That's Alejandro. He's quite nice. Maybe decision making is a little ordinary. Under $1 million, no brainer. Andre Almeida, he has come in. The Portuguese came in from... Is he Portuguese? No, he's Argentine, isn't he? No, he is Portuguese. He is Portuguese. And he came in from Guimarães for 1.5. I think everyone who has played FM this season has brought in Andre Almeida. 20, great potential, great starting point, a solid deep-lying playmaker. I mean, they've got him as Metsala, but his shooting isn't that great, so we're training him as a deep-lying playmaker. Solid. We're all about the youth here at Bologna. We're that's what we are. We've got a great youth setup and, a good stable of young players. Andre will add to that and will play. He's brought in as a squad player, so he will get game time as we work out, particularly early on, as we work out who are the players who are going to step up for us and who are the guys who are going to come off the bench and step up to help those players off or play cup games. At this stage, I would imagine Almeida is one of those players. Let's see how he goes. Now, we talked about English language speakers. Lewis Ferguson, some of you have signed him in this version of FM. Comes from Aberdeen. One with a possible up to 2.5 million. Box-to-box midfielder. That's what he's all about. We had Charlton, and we've got Lewis Ferguson. The great thing about having Ferguson here is that with Binks and Hickey, he's got some English language partners to deal with. My concern with Lewis Ferguson is I have had him in that Blackburn Rovers save, and he was the worst of worst red and yellow card magnets. Just the worst. He was worse than Lewis Travis, worse than Jacob Davenport. We'll see how he goes here. He does love to dive into tackle. He is aggressive. He's not that composed. So we'll see how he goes. Hopefully he doesn't get sent off a lot and causes problems, because I tend to start him quite a bit. It'll be between him and Charlton, I think. It is Charlton, I believe, who's the other box-to-box here. No, it's not Jody Charlton, because that's right. We discovered that Jody Charlton was a deep-lying defensive playmaker. No, in fact, he is it. That's why we brought him in as that box-to-box. He's the dynamic guy who's going to go back and forth. We do have a lot of deep-lying or advanced playmakers here, or Metsalas, depending on how you want to play. We won't be playing Metsala because we'll talk about that in a moment. So he's the dynamism in midfield, going backwards and forwards. Fausto Beira from Argentina's Juniors. It came in for 2, going to a possible 4. Another defensive deep-lying playmaker like Charlton. Potential good squad player. He won't start. We'll have more like a Charlton starting, or one of those guys starting, but he's there to come on. A lot of cup games. If Charlton doesn't step up, Fausto certainly can play deep in that hole. He's all round. He's pretty solid, you'd have to say. Again, these are all good money. 2 to 5 million over, well, in case of Fausto, 2 to 4. But that sort of amounts over the next couple of years for a 20-year-old with that sort of potential. Again, assuming he delivers, very good. And if he doesn't, look, he's already worth over 5. In a year or so, he'll be worth 7.5. And if we sell him for that sort of money, well, we come out ahead. Welcome, Fausto. Christian Kwan from Perugia. Anyone who's had a Perugia save will know Christian Kwan, a ball-winning midfielder. Straight up ball-winning midfielder. 20 years old, bags of potential according to our scouts. The technicals aren't so great, but the mentals and the physicals are outstanding, developed well. He is on loan, though. He's on loan because we have 2 defensive playmakers, and I feel that's... And we have Lewis Ferguson, who likes to tackle. So Christian Kwan, I want him to play, but we have sent him out on loan. He'll be playing with Pisa as a regular starter. And as you can see, he's coming along. He's developing. That's good. He can certainly do the job there. He's good value, can do, already has Italian. We need a kind of dirty fighter. Gary Medel, who's long-term injury. This is who will replace Gary, undoubtedly. Fredrik Andre Bjorken comes from Bodo Glimt. He came in for, I'm going to say, 2 million going to 5 million. left side, left-sided defender, left-sided defender. Can't I just say left back? Left back. There you go. I said left back. 22, so a little bit older than some of the others. Some decent physicals and mentals. The technicals are okay. Still has plenty of potential though at 22. Yeah, so 2 million, possibly going to 5. Dix is injured, not for very long, but to be honest, he's not that good. I mean, he's kind of average. Let's compare him to Frederick Andre. I mean, if you compare him to Frederick Andre, I mean, there's a few years between them. There's 5 years between them. And other than the aerial, I mean, it's pretty tight. It's pretty tight. Mitchell Dykes isn't going to develop that well. I mean, he's obviously he's injured at the moment, so it's not, that's totally understandable. But this to me, 12s, at 27, not go. I mean, he's got a bit to go, but don't see it happening. It's a big unit too. He's not going to go very fast, and you do need fast fullback / wing backs. And Frederick Andre Bjorken can develop in that area. Welcome, Frederick Andre. That's Frederick. It's a good name. Solid. Fred Bjork. The big buy of the transfer window was Samuele Ricci from Empoli. He came in for fairly low numbers. He came in for 3 million, I think, or 3 to 4 million, up to 12 and a half or something, or 13 million, depending on appearances for the national team, goals, things like that. Why? He's 19. He's got good potential. He's good all around. He's Italian, and that's obviously important. In fact, he is the only Italian we've signed in this window. So, not that we're required to sign Italians, but hey, it makes life useful. And look how well-rounded he is all over. He's not much of a tackler, but look at those mentals. There's something there. It's all double-digit in the mentals. His physicals are pretty decent as well. He can pass the ball. He does have good vision and teamwork. He is that deep-lying playmaker on support, but maybe he can, he does like to get forward. So, I think we should probably train him, looking at that, as an advanced playmaker, which we have. And we've picked up his quickness too, because that's what he'll need. He'll need that speed to get forward and come back. Yes, so Samuele Ricci, welcome. Samuele will start as much as he can. He's not Nicolas Dominguez. All we have to do is compare Nicolas to Samuele, and you'll see, well, Nicolas smashes him in all the key departments, and Nicolas will start. But Samuele Ricci will be his backup. I mean, Dominguez is only 22 anyway, but they'll become good friends. And Dominguez will show him the ways of the advanced playmaker for our team. Now, Takahiro Tomiyasu, 21, obviously, really solid for that age. He's wanted by everyone, including Leicester and Dortmund. No one's made any bids for him yet. He came in for 7.5 million in total and is currently only worth 8. Hence, the interest in those teams. We don't want to sell him. Hopefully, the January window will mean that we won't have to sell him. We are training him as a centre-back. Ball-playing defender in midfield, working on his defensive positioning because he needs to work on his marking as well as his decision-making. We want to try and hold him. It's coming along well. Obviously, he's got a bit of room. Oh, has he got a bit of room to develop? Well, we'll see. He's developing apparently. Why I'm showing him is because he's one of the guys who didn't go in this transfer window, but we're going to need to keep our eye on come January. There are others. Nicolas Dominguez, who wouldn't want him? Southampton and some other English team, Leeds maybe, both interested in Nicolas. He's not going anywhere. He came in from Belize on 7.25. He is now worth 4.4, so we can't sell him. And I have no intention of selling him. So again, no interest has been expressed, but that's it. He's wanted, and you have to keep our eyes on this. We have to watch that January window, especially if we're struggling. And if we don't push a little bit forward the midfield, And I wanted to show you Orsolini. He's 23. I don't like those down arrows for the 23-year-old. I'm showing you him because he is still wanted. Napoli are very interested, as are Palace. I think Palace have a little bit of money. Napoli, I'm not sure what they have, but they're a successful Italian side, and we want to hold on to him. Chelsea seem to disappear. They didn't seem to want him. We are training him as an inside forward because look at that finishing and shooting, and he does love to shoot. So he's an inside forward coming in on the right. But we will work on his passing because his vision in passing is fairly low. So let's build that up a bit. His technique is fantastic, but he needs to be able to pass the ball as well. That is the transfers. That is everything. Let's have a look at the tactics. So this is what we're playing in general. We're playing a balanced, flat, 4-3-3. Orsolini and Sansoni coming in with Thiago up front. Ferguson's in midfield along with Almeida and Dominguez. Skorupski in goal, of course. Farago on the right. Bjorken on the left. Swamouro and Tomiyasu in the centre of midfield. Centre of defence, I should say. I think I'm being conservative, to be honest. I think we're playing balance because I want to play balance. I have a feeling we need to play positive. And the other change I made was in the first few games, we had defensive wing backs, right? What I've changed is I've changed the wing backs into attacking, the inverted wingers and inside forwards to support, and those wing backs are coming up the left and the right there. So I'm hoping they'll provide just more attacking options while maintaining a kind of solid midfield. Almeida will stay deep, and if he's not doing the job for us, we've always got Fausto and we've got Charlton who can, tackle and move the ball on. Dominguez is going to get forward and Ferguson's going to help him up and hopefully put the ball in the net a few times. He has done that for me in the past. This is what we're playing because we don't have, and once we sold Soriano, we didn't have anyone to sit behind Tomas, and that's okay. I think the three in midfield gives us solidity, but it can also, hurt our chances of scoring. We're playing sort of standard passing, so not short. So we are, if we need to launch the ball forward to Sansoni or Orsolini or even Thiago Tomas, we can do that. Skorupski's kicking and throwing is pretty average, so therefore I've got him distributing quickly, but only to the centre backs. In fact, we might change that to the wing backs. We'll drop the centre backs. We aren't counter pressing, but we are countering. So whether we want to change, the question is, do we change this to positive? In fact, why don't we do it now? Let's change this to positive, but let's regroup. So we have a more positive attitude going forward, but we do come back when we need to. Hopefully that'll result in, more goals, really, because we need more goals. This is a good front three. They can score. They like to shoot and score. Let's give them a bit of reason to go forward. As I said, we are urgently pressing, and with Thiago Tomas up front, we are pushing the goalkeeper as well. And as you can see, there's that overlapping now on wingbacks. We didn't have that before. We are going to try that going forward. We have Atalanta up next, and that's at home, so let's make the most of it. And then we Udinese away, Udinese, and then of course the Coppa game against Vinitas Entella. An easy win, you would think. And then of course the Parma game, and that's it. That's where we're at. So looking at the average rating, Tomiyasu has done well. Svanberg's done well. Thiago Tomas put the goal away. Samara was okay. Skorupski's obviously made some saves for us, and Bjorken's done all right. So the back, look at that. Tomiyasu, Samara, Skorupski, Bjorken. Most of those are at the back. Svanberg's in there, though. He's the only midfielder who's featuring, who's getting sevens. And obviously Thiago Tomas with that, with the goal. Out on the wings, the only one producing anything close to decently is Vignato. That's it, only Vignato. But the wings, if we go down here, look at this. Sansone, Ferguson, not so great. His average rating's pretty ordinary overall. Orsolini, so do we get Vignato on to do that role for us? Do we get Musabara on instead of Sansone? At this stage, no. There's no question that Orsolini and Sansoni from a pure attribute level are the best, but I feel like this might be an area. We'll see how we go over the next few games. If we still can't get a performance out of Sansone or Orsolini, I think we might bring in the youngsters and give them a go. Let's get Batto on there at the left. Let's get Vignato on the right. Let's see if they want it. Let's see if they want to own those spots. Midfield is still up in the air. You know, there are a lot of midfielders. I'm aware of that, and we need to be consistent to begin with. I don't want to just swap people in and out all over the shop. The advantage is, ridiculously, gives us 12 substitutions this season, I guess, with with the invisible COVID. I don't know why I'm doing that, but the invisible COVID, which invisible COVID doesn't feature in the chapters, as you will have noticed if you read the first chapter, the prologue, and accompanied by the prior video. But obviously we get the advantage of substitutions. That's the way it is. I just can't write about COVID. I mean, anyone who's producing any kind of COVID-related creative work, good luck to you. It ain't me. So that's it. That's where we're at. Right now, not a lot of dramas. We're going to need some results. We want something positive at home at Atalanta. We want something positive at Udine, at least a point. We want a cup run. Then we've got the big Parma game, one of the few local derbies. I mean, there's a few kind of ordinary local derbies. Parma is one of them. It's at home. We want a result because then we run into Lazio, Inter, Napoli. I want to see us more up here, you know, on the edge of Europe in order to cope with the games. And when we face Inter and Juve and all those teams, and when we face those teams and we probably lose or best draw against them at home, we want to be in a good place. So if we do finish, you know, midfield, if we don't sneak into Europe, which obviously we'd like to do, but if we don't do that, at least we finish in a good pace in terms of the league. We get better money. We go again next season. We try for Europe. And that's it. I think that's it for today. So remember to drop a like on the video. It's only short, I know. The real work, remember, is over at the FM Cheater WordPress page. Go and read the chapter that accompanies this. All the drama, the transfer drama, the games, all the things that have gone on there. If you love a read, go check that out. Remember to subscribe because there's not just this game, although you've probably found this save through the Blackburn save. But if you haven't watched the Blackburn save, roving to the top, where are we now? I think we're in our second season now from memory. There you go. I'm blanking out there. But it's a really interesting save. It's progressing far faster than I thought I would. Thanks again for joining me today. Remember to go over, read that chapter as well. Check it out. And until next time, ciao, ciao.